What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to talk real quick about the iPhone 6s and the 3D touch / force touch. So I respect Apple. I got Apple products. I'm not an Android fanboy, although I primarily use Android cell phones. The force touch, the 3D touch, looks a lot like Android long press. I mean, I don't know. I think Apple is better than just marketing or remarketing things that Android has already done. Now, the pop in and pop out feature, I mean, that looks kind of sweet. I don't know how functional it is. I mean, people kind of railroad Samsung when they kind of do the gimmick things, like the smart stay and you turn away and the screen stops, and the smart awake, even hovering your hand over the phone to see notifications. Is everything that Samsung puts out a great feature? No. Have I used some of those features in the past? Sure. And I like the fact that they're trying to push the envelope and innovate. Like right now I'm on the S6 Edge Plus. I love that the phone, even though I don't really use the edges, it's just a different look, a different feel. It feels futuristic. And I'll probably only utilize that edge feature probably less than 10 times. It's not something I use daily. But just the way that the phone looks is worth it alone to me. And I just didn't understand why people, like, if you look at some of the reviews of the S6 Edge Plus, oh, well, the edges aren't functional. Your phone doesn't have them, so you're not missing anything. It does everything your phone can do and more. You can't take a point away for the edges not being functional. I mean, you're paying to be the top dog on the food chain. That's just aesthetically, it's a very nice feature. It kind of makes, if you haven't had a chance to play with it, go in the store and just test it out. If you got a buddy that has one, just actually look at their phone and just see how it just looks a little bit better to me looking at it when it wraps around the screen like that. Back to the iPhone 6s. Apple has been getting away with this for years, but the S model just kind of a speed improvement, whatever, a small camera improvement. And I know that this camera did improve. Apple has one of the best cameras out right now to me. It may not win a spec award, but it takes really good photos. Like anybody that has an iPhone, their photos come out pretty crispy. Their videos come out crispy. The software on Apple is amazing. Like I get it. But I'm starting to think that maybe between these Android flagships and the Apple iPhones, maybe 12 months is too soon. Maybe 10 months is too soon to announce. Maybe we need about 18 months to really get some process improvements. What does that mean for margins? Hey, sometimes that your stock price ticking up just a bit isn't really worth the overall experience to the consumers if you're rushing out products. Because you look at Samsung and what they did with the Galaxy S5, and now that they made this Galaxy S6, it's gonna be hard to follow that up. I mean, you've done everything. You went glass, you made a beautiful phone. It's nice. But then, I mean, I've already started hearing rumors about the S7. It's like you gotta let consumers enjoy the product that you just put out. And if you don't do that, I mean, you kind of get into this rat race where the new adopters, the early adopters, are always gonna want your product. But how many of those people is it out there? If you really want to just smash the sales on these smartphones, you got to wait a little bit longer, build up the anticipation, and just make a quality product that is substantially better than what's previously out. Like my wife has right now a Note 3. I got the S6 Edge Plus, tried to upgrade her. She kind of likes what she has. She's not really into all the upgrades and the technology. Her phone works fine. Does my phone do, having a phone that came out last month, significantly more than hers? No, on the spec sheet, sure. But the Note 3 has a good camera. It's relatively fast. There's not really much I can do on my phone that she can't do on hers. So it's kind of like, after a while, you do reach a point where it's like, yeah, the technology will slow down. Because Android came out with September 2008. And it's developed rapidly, and it's starting to get to the point where it's slowing down a bit. And there's only so many more. Well, actually, I think there's a lot more innovations, but it'll take time. But right now, I would like to see the companies focus more on just developing. If you're going to do a flagship, develop that premier model, maybe instead of the 12-month cycle, the 10-month cycle, take about, between 14 to 18 months, put it back out there, let the consumers build up to it, let the product be a really good product for people with substantial innovations, and do it like that. The iPhone 6S, if I was into the Apple products, and I might get the iPhone 7, depending on what they do with that, because technically, or not technically, but usually when they release not the S, but the next number up, it's something different on that phone, which is something that I can't get on the S. So I would be interested in that, but I would hate to get the S and then, you come around the 7 drops, it's like, oh, yikes. I wish I had that. So I may get the iPhone 7, it depends. I'm not sure yet. But all right, I'm pulling up. Force Touch, I'm not sure how big of a feature that is. I want to get it in my hands and actually play with it, but right now, just on the videos that I've watched, it doesn't seem like a great feature. It doesn't seem like a groundbreaking feature that Apple is trying to hype it up to be. All right, guys, have a good one. Peace.